before this Commission of Inquiry into Local Government Councils and related matters, may I remind you that you are still under oath before I hand you over to Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Chair, I hand over the witness to you for us to proceed.
Mr. Jonga, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Council, we may proceed.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson. Mr. Jonga, yes, you were explaining some developments.
Yes.
Do you have a lot to go?
Yes, I have some to go. I can continue.
Mr. Jonga?
Yes, ma'am.
Please, it seems you are reading from your laptop, right?
Yes.
Give us a summation of everything that you've been able to achieve.
Yes.
And done.
Okay.
And you can bring that tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
All right?
Okay.
Council, we may proceed.
All right. What document were you reading from?
I have a summary of the successes and the challenges of the council.
Do you have the printout?
No, but I have the soft copy in my laptop.
Can you provide us with a printout tomorrow?
Okay, sir, thank you.
So that we can follow as well. Is that possible, sir?
Yes, very possible.
Right, thank you. Now, Mr. Jonga, I will want you to explain to us what I've asked earlier regarding the finances of council and where you come in the administrative sector, the role of the CEO, yes, the finance director, and whosoever is involved in the administration of the finance of council.
Yes, like I said, the CEO is the accounting officer.
Yes.
And then the director of finance is responsible for expenditure.
Yes.
You also have accounting staffs under finance. You also have the internal audit that helps in the checks of transactions.
When you say the finance director is responsible for expenditure, what does that mean?
He ensures that the expenditures of council are in line with budgetary provisions, that expenditures that are carried out will have to be budgeted for.
Yes.
He also advises the council on expenditure, that is on the availability of funds.
Yes.
Upon request. He also have other functions of ensuring monthly bank reconciliations.
Yes.
Yes.
But for all these responsibilities that are being bestowed on the finance director by the, with respect to the relevant regulations and acts, you also have the same responsibility.
Yes, I do.
Do you understand that?
Yes, I agree.
And so, what are the laws or the regulations that you will advise yourself in relation to the administration of your role as a CEO? What do you make reference to? What do you?
First, I make reference to the Financial and Accounting Manual.
Yes.
For LGS 209. I also make reference or draw reference to the Finance and Audit Act 204.
Yes.
And also, most importantly, the Local Government Act.
Now, have you been spending in accordance with your budget? Since 2019, have you been doing your expenditure in accordance with your budget for 2019?
Most of the cases, yes.
Most of the cases, yes. So, do you have the approved budget for 2019?
2019?
2019, 2020, 2021, all the way to 2023.
Yes, I should have the budget for 2019 and 2020, 2022, and 2023.
Were they approved?
Yes.
Can you please provide us with the budget for this period when you're coming back tomorrow?
Okay. We have earlier submitted these copies. I don't know if I can list with the registrar to check the records.
Absolutely. You can list with the registrar, and the ones that are not available, you can provide copies for it.
Okay, sir.
Now, in 2019, who was the internal auditor?
Suleiman Bari.
How many internal auditors were there in council?
There were 4 in total, including Mr. Barry.
What was the role of the, or what is the role of the internal auditor in your understanding?
The internal auditor is to conduct a pre-audit of payments.
So
But
for
al-
every payment has to pass through the internal auditor.
Yes, they also have a mandate to conduct a post-audit as well.
Post audit.
Yes.
How often are these post audits conducted?
Well, from 2019 to 2023, the unit has produced a number of reports.
What do you mean a number of reports? We want to have.
System audits first.
You will not want to be specific.
Yes,
How
that-
many reports were produced between 2019, your time as the CEO, all the way to 2023? How many audit reports were presented to you yearly?
The system audit was in 2020.
Why 2020? What happened in 2019?
Well, the system reports covers the period 2020. I do not know what limits the internal audit to do the system audit for
No,
20
Mr. Jonga,
2020, not 2019.
you cannot. Why is that? Were you not the CEO in 2019?
I took over November.
November 2019.
Yes.
Okay. And so you would not know why there was no internal audit exercise.
No, I wouldn't be able to tell.
But in 2020, there was one.
In 2020, there was a system audit.
In 2021,
In 2021, there were quarterly reports. I will need to confirm that in my laptop.
yes, please confirm and let us know.
Beside the system audit, there was a first quarter report and second quarter report for 2022.
Let's start with 2021 first. Was there any internal audit done or system audit in 2021?
2021, not, I cannot recall.
You cannot recall.
No.
But Mr.
But I can check.
Mr. Jonga,
yes. I can
you
check if you
were
can
the
give-
chief administrator in 2021.
Yes, you can give me a few seconds and I can check and
All right.
see. Yes, please.
That's fair enough.
In 2021, the only report I have here is the one for the investigation in Fonyi.
So you don't have the quarterly reports for 2021 internal audit reports.
No, the one I have in records here is the trade license investigation in Fonyi.
In Fonyi.
Yes.
But apart from that, that has to do with only one individual. Is that not the case?
Yes, but after the exercise was narrowed down to other parts, other zones outside of the Fonyes.
Do you have those reports?
Yes, sir.
All those reports
Yes.
in relation to other zones. So
Yes.
all the revenue collectors were being investigated.
Yes, because there were
Is
some.
that your story?
There were some.
Go ahead.
There were some selected zones
By,
that were also by the internal audit directorate, not the internal audit unit of the council. Because this particular case in Fonyi was investigated by the internal audit directorate of the Ministry of Finance following a request from the Local Government Service Commission.
please, let us have that report. When can you make the report, that report available?
I have the soft copy in my laptop. By
Yes.
tomorrow I should be able
Tomorrow
to
we
provide
need the hard copy. But I am now referring to the internal audit unit. Was there any auditing done in 2021? Is the answer no?
Yes, I could not see a copy. I'm still sergeant.
You don't have to see a copy, Mr. Jonga. If it was done, you would have known that there was an internal audit in 2021, and then you can tell the commission whether, in fact, whether it was one audit or it was quarterly or so.
Okay, few seconds. I'm almost there now. Yes, so beside the 2020 system audit, there was other separate reports in the year 2021. There were separate reports. There were other reports in 2021.
You have internal audit reports in 2021?
No, there was a trade Lansing report that they produced in 2021.
That who produced?
The internal audit unit.
Trade license report.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Jan, can you produce that copy as well?
Mr. Jonga.
Mr. Jonga, sorry.
Thank you.
Can you produce the copy?
Yes, sir.
Now, is the answer no when I asked the question whether there was a quarterly report from the internal auditor?
Yes, because the Lansing's report
Mr.
was...
Jonga, let's first get the answer and then the explanation.
No.
The answer is no.
No, because it was not a quarterly report. It was not a quarterly report.
Yes. And that one you were referring to, was it a general investigation or is just with respect to only one individual?
It was a revenue audit
With respect to how many collectors?
for the trade Lansing collectors.
Okay. So tomorrow we'll have that.
Okay,
Now,
sir.
why was there no quarterly report?
I might not be in a better position to answer that.
Why is that?
Maybe the internal auditor will be in a much better position because there have not been any limitation from my office for the units to conduct regular quarterly, to produce regular quarterly reports.
No, Mr. Jonga, that would not be correct. I mean, if you look at your responsibilities, let me ask that you be given your financial manual. Then we look at what your responsibilities are. We can cross-check that against the responsibilities of the internal auditor. We will see whether you have, you are supposed to have an overlapping or...
It's okay, I have a copy.
Yes, so
Thank you.
please turn to the role of the CEO. The page 8, section 202. Are you there?
2 seconds. Yes, I'm there.
It says, the second paragraph, as the accounting officer of the council, you, the CEO, shall be responsible for the general management and supervision of the financial and accounting operations of councils. Now, do you have an oversight function?
Yes, I do.
Good. Did you perform that in 2021
Yes.
over the internal auditor?
Yes, over all the units.
Then, no, let's now limit ourselves to internal auditor. Then why was there no report to you?
Like I said, there has been no restriction on the part of the Office of the CEO to limit the unit from producing reports as required.
What do you mean there was no restriction? I'm not talking about restriction, I'm talking about enforcement. I'm talking about the idea that these units must really perform in accordance with the financial manual and all relevant laws. That's what I'm talking about. So if you don't have a restriction, we don't expect you to have a restriction. That would be a clear violation. Is that not the case?
Absolutely, because I just want to tell you why my office do not have kind of a, there's no restriction. So I do not know why the internal audit has not produced any reports. But in the memo that I have sent to all the heads of departments in 2021, I have clearly indicated that there are internal controls and measures that each unit.
Mr. Jonga, did you request for any internal report in 2021?
I did not request for any.
Did you request for any internal audit report, quarterly report for 2021?
No.
You have 12 months. It was not done. Did you request for it?
I did not.
Why is that?
Because I felt, that is his responsibility as the internal auditor, because the system audit for 2020 was not requested by the CEO. It was his decision, and I fully supported the decision to conduct a system audit.
So if the finance director did not perform his duties, are you saying that you don't have to make sure that he or she perform the duties as prescribed by law because that's their responsibility? Of
course, I have oversight responsibilities.
Yes, we are now talking about your oversight responsibility. That's what we are talking about. Now I'm glad you understand we are talking about the oversight responsibility.
Yes.
You have already said that you did not place any restriction. That is okay, but we don't expect you to place restrictions because it will be a clear violation.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now you have restriction, that's one, but you did not perform your oversight function, that's two.
Well, I would respectfully differ. I think the internal auditor, has the responsibility to produce quarterly internal audit reports, and
did you request for it?
No, I did not.
Were you in a position to request for it?
Because his unit is expected to be independent.
No, answer the question. Were you in a position to request for internal reports?
At that point in time?
No, at any point in time in your capacity as a CEO, were you, Mr. Jonga, in a position to request for the internal audit quarterly report so that you know the state of affairs of the institution you run?
Yes, I was in a position.
Good. Did you do that?
No, I did not.
Did you think that you could have done that?
Yes, in hindsight, I would have done that.
Thank you very much. Mr. Jonga, we answer in accordance with what your responsibilities are. It makes life easier. Is that not the case?
Very well.
Good. So in 2021, you failed to make sure the internal auditor will produce his internal audit reports, quarterly reports.
Again, because the internal auditor...
Is it because I'm using the word failure?
No. I just want to draw your attention to the fact that the internal auditor reports to the council.
Now, put on to page 14. It's in relation to your statement that the internal audit reports to council.
In my statement?
Page 14 of the financial manual.
Okay.
Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Can you please read the duties and functions of the internal auditor?
His main functions are to ensure that council, the whole system of internal control, including internal checks, is adequate and is functioning satisfactorily.
Proceed.
B, the financial, accounting, and store regulations and procedures issued from time to time by the council are being complied with.
Go ahead.
C, the accounting records from a reliable basis for the production of the council accounts.
Go ahead, sir.
D, reports to the council and the chief executive of any apparent waste or extravagant expenditure which comes to his notice.
Does that chief executive refer to Mr. Jonga in your time as CEO?
Yes, absolutely, yes.
So now it's not only the council, but to you as well?
Yes.
So probably you had the mindset before that the report he has to report to the council, but now you have seen how important your office is.
Absolutely, I never doubted this. I never disputed the fact that the office is
your
important.
statement was he reports to council.
Yeah, because I wanted to proceed, and then you intervened.
That's fine, that's fair enough. Yeah. Now do you agree that the internal auditor has to report to you?
Yes, I agree. He has to report to me.
So where he did not report to you, what should you do as CEO?
It's important to state that, of course, I need to enforce to ensure that he reports. And
let's get it again. How do you enforce to make sure he reports?
Of course, I have to engage him and bring him to the understanding that he needs to submit.
Did you do that?
Reports.
Was that done?
To the best of my knowledge, that was not done.
So you fail in your responsibility?
I would not say I failed in that responsibility because, like I said, the resources are available for the unit
Did
to
you perform your responsibility in engaging the internal auditor to make sure he reports?
We have regular management meetings, and these issues were discussed. So the responsibility lies on him to produce reports.
Do you have statements or letters that you have written to the internal auditor wherein you have demanded reports?
There was no letter, but there was a memo that was dispatched.
Can I see the memo, please?
I have the soft copy. I can make available this copy to the commission tomorrow.
If you don't produce the memo, Mr. Jonga, how can I know the contents of the memo you're referring to? Because the topic for of discussion now is specifically to the internal auditor, and the fact that he did not provide quarterly reports, we expect you as the CEO to request for one. Did you write to the internal auditor directly requesting for reports?
No, I did not.
Why were you supposed to do that?
Yes.
Did you fail in doing that?
Yes.
See, life is simple, Mr. Jonga, if we accept and we move on. Because it's very clearly spelled out what your responsibilities are. I know it's tough, but we just admit where all of us fall short on certain instances. And we just walk past through it. 2022, there was a report?
2022, I think there was a report, yes.
Okay, please provide us with these reports. Now we have copies of internal audit reports that were produced by the internal audit department. We will ask that you be shown those copies by Suleiman Barry. For 2020, and you have one for 2022, I believe. Yes, let me show you the final report on system audit for the period 1st January 2020 to December 31st, 2020. This is from the internal audit unit. It's signed by the principal auditor, Brikama Council, Suleiman Barry.
Yes.
Now, that report, have you seen it before? As CEO?
Few seconds, let me cross-check with the one that I have here.
We need to get that part, the statement you've already.
Yeah, few seconds, let me cross-check where is the one that I have here.
Yeah. I asked because it is recorded, you know, so it's good we have whatever you say.
Yes, I have a similar copy.
So you've had access to that report before?
Yes, sir.
What steps do you know were taken when you had this report? Was there any steps that council took?
Yes, we met when we received the draft. We met at the level of the senior management.
You met at the level of senior management?
The senior management to review the reports,
Yes.
the findings, and also provide feedbacks with respect to the recommendations that are contained in the system audit report.
Was that all?
We have also taken actions, we've taken decisions.
You were supposed to take an action.
Yes.
Did you take action?
Yeah, we took action, yes.
What did you take action on? Which are the recommendations that you act upon?
The findings on the personal files and the establishment register, it is indicated that they were not updated. So
Yes.
these two reports were updated.
The findings were updated. What pages are you referring to?
I'm referring to page 8.
Page 8.
Yes.
Madam Chair, do we have an extra copy that the witness can use so that I can also make?
No, I have the
reference to those?
soft copy.
You have the soft copy. Thank you very much, Mr. Jonga.
Yes, okay, yeah.
Yes, you said there were findings on page 8
Yeah, page 8, yes.
regarding the personal files and the establishment register.
Yes, sir.
Please go ahead.
Okay, if you look at the issue of the inaccurate asset register,
Yes.
we have updated the asset register,
Okay.
and we have a complete asset register. We all know the asset register is a working document. So we have also looked at the grades in the payroll that were not in accordance with the budgeted grades as per the 2020 budget line.
Yes.
And then we also paid particular attention to staffs whose salaries were not received and amounted to 32,922.82 buduts.
Yes.
We also addressed the issue of the procurement plan for 2020.
So you had a procurement plan for 2018? Sorry, 2020?
Yes.
When did you start having or coming up with a procurement plan? Since 2019?
We started having our procurement plan in 2021.
Why is that?
When I took over in 2019, that was in November, there was no plan.
Yes.
And in 2020, we had a plan at the time of the system audit, but it was not approved by the authority.
So you don't have a plan in 2020?
Yes, that's what I said, and that's why I said we started having an approved plan in 2021.
So why do you not have a procurement plan 2020?
We had a plan, we submitted a plan, but at the time of the system audit, the plan was not approved.
For the entire 2020, was there an approved procurement plan?
There was a plan, but you know this plan, you have to send it to the authority for approval.
If it is not approved, it's no plan.
Yes, exactly. That's what I mean.
Yes.
So therefore, 2020 we do not have.
Mr. Jonga, I want us to be very much clear and specific. So first, if you draft something and it's supposed to be approved and it's not approved, it's as if the document doesn't exist.
Yeah, that's why I said we don't have
Correct?
a plan. Yes, correct.
So if I say ask the question whether you have a plan, procurement plan for 2020, the answer is either yes or no, and then you can explain why. Do you see the way it's supposed to be?
Yes.
Now, was there a plan procurement plan for 2020?
No.
Why was there no procurement plan for 2020?
We could not obtain approval for the plan.
You submitted it?
We submitted, yes.
To
the authority, GPPA.
Do you have the correspondence that you have sent to GPPA for 2020 indicating you as CEO, you've come up with a procurement plan and you need approval?
There should be. I'll find out.
Is there any? Did you send correspondence to GPPA seeking for approval for procurement plan for 2020, Mr. Jonga?
There should be a correspondence.
It's not an answer. It's not a definitive answer, Mr. Jonga. We need to know whether that was done as the CEO or not.
A letter was sent. I can confirm this from the office.
Did you send the letter?
Yes.
You, Mr. Jonga, sent a letter to GPPA
Yes,
in 2020
yes,
seeking for approval for procurement.
yes. If I don't send it as a CEO, the procurement manager must have sent it on my behalf.
Absolutely. Once it is sent, we will now set the connect. So we want you to produce that correspondence to GPPA by tomorrow.
Okay, sir.
Now, why was it not approved?
I cannot tell.
Did you follow up?
I will have to confirm. I will have to confirm this with the procurement manager.
No, you are the CEO.
Yes, but as CEO, I cannot police every activity, every issue.
No, you should. You should. That's what the law says.
No, they're heads of units and departments who have direct responsibility.
And they are all being supervised by the chief executive officer.
Correct, I agree, but they have direct responsibilities. And like I said, as CEO, I cannot police every single matter.
For every unit that works in the area council, the CEO has an oversight function. Do we need to go back to the law?
I'm not disputing that. I said I have overall responsibility.
I understand that.
Yes.
My point is not that. My point is you are the person that we should ask these questions because the reporting system should be from those departments to your office. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
That is the oversight function.
Yes.
So that when you now report to whosoever is asking you questions and is an authority like this, then you will be in a position to explain. That is why you were promoted to the level of a CEO. Is that not the case? Do you agree with that analogy?
That's correct.
So you should be in a position to give answers. Do you agree with that?
That's correct.
So let us not start the game wherein we are blaming the other departments. You oversee these departments.
I'm not blaming any department. I'm taking full responsibilities for the decisions.
That's what I expect you to do.
Yeah, yes.
So let's roll back the dice. Let's go back.
Yes.
You did not write the letter. You are saying the procurement department wrote the letter.
No,
So
I
tomorrow
did not say that.
you will produce the letter?
Yes, I said I will confirm with procurement if he did send the letter on my behalf, or if the letter was sent by me.
Have you seen the
to
letter
GP.
before?
Well, I might not be able to recall. I've seen a lot of letters over the period, so I
Tomorrow,
can't specifically.
we need you to provide us. So how were you conducting the procurement in 2020 when you had no procurement plan that was approved?
We were going by the plan that we've submitted.
That was not approved?
Yeah, but the contracts committee, developed this plan.
They don't have authority because the plan is not approved. You shouldn't even allow that. You cannot sit here and tell me the contracts committee did develop the plan. It's not approved. So what basis were you authorizing expenditure when you had no procurement plan, Mr. Jonga?
Like I said, we were relying on the plan that we submitted to the authority.
Is that correct to do?
Well, having a plan, even though it's draft, is much better than not having a plan at all.
Are you serious?
Yes, Council.
I don't expect this from you.
Having a plan that is not approved is much better than not having a plan.
No, I disagree. Now let me refer you to the financial manual, the part that talks about procurement. Let's see what it says. If you're correct, then we accept. Turn to page 38. Are you there? Page 38 talks about procurement and tender procedures for goods, works, and services.
Yes.
The preamble. Read the preamble here. Let's hear what it says.
Local government procurement procedures should be done strictly in accordance with the Public Procurement Act 201 and its attendance regulations and any other subsequent amendment to the Act.
Yes. Strictly. You should strictly follow the Procurement Act and regulations. What do you understand by that?
It's simple as, ensuring full compliance.
Full compliance.
Yes.
And the Procurement Act and regulations provides that you must have a procurement plan.
Yes.
Do you agree with that?
Yes, I agree.
So if you do not have a procurement plan, were your procurement activities for 2020 legal? Were they lawful?
Few seconds, let me check. Compliance report. Well, I might not, at the time, might not see them as illegal at the time.
Now,
Now, yes, I do.
now you agree they were unlawful and they were illegal.
Yes, despite the fact that we have the structures, we have the contrast committee, we have records of those meetings and so on, we have the documentation to show for the procurement transactions. And then we have obtained approval for those procurements that we have conducted during the period.
We will come to those.
Yes.
But now you've agreed without a procurement plan, you could not have to conduct procurement.
Yes, I understand a procurement plan is essential, is key.
It's mandatory,
Yes,
not essential. You can really disregard something that's essential and still survive it. The law says it has to happen. It's not a matter of choice. But you have said you have accepted it is unlawful now that you know. Correct?
yes.
But Mr. Jonga, my point is, or my worry is, you were in a position to know. You were the CEO.
To know that the procurement plan is mandatory?
Yes.
Yes, I know. I've never said here that the procurement plan is not mandatory. I think I have said that here. And then, if you could permit me, I'm going through the compliance report for 2020, and then clearly you have indicated that Brikama Area Council has submitted an annual procurement plan for the period under review, as stipulated in section 29 of the Act. So a plan was submitted, and this is a confirmation from the compliance report from the authority.
Mr. Jonga, I asked you the question, do you have a procurement plan for 2020? You said no.
Yes, but the compliance
You
report...
said it wasn't approved, your own evidence.
Yes, but the compliance report is confirming that a plan was submitted, and
So
this is what I'm reading to you.
So you were saying you were wrong.
No, I'm not saying I'm wrong, because I said a plan was submitted, but it was not approved.
Yes.
So the compliance report, the finding, is confirming that it is indeed submitted.
Mr. Jonga, you said that you did not have an approved plan for 2020. Did
Yes.
you say that?
Yes, I did say that. I said it was submitted.
Is that what the evidence was?
Yes.
You know, you could be wrong and it's okay. But now, you are saying you're reading from the compliance report and it says there was a procurement plan.
No, I did not say that. I said the findings is that the plan had been submitted to the authority for the procurement plan for 2020.
Can you produce the procurement plan for 2020?
Yes, I should be able to, yes.
Yes. You know why I asked that?
Yes.
Because the procurement, GPA, they testified here. And most times they have agreed what they write, or some of the things that are in the compliance review is just not correct. But that's an issue for another day.
Yeah.
Probably maybe you were not following. But now as the CEO sitting here, we ask you questions and you give us answers, and we go by your answers and ask you further questions. So are you saying there's a procurement plan that was approved now?
I did not say the procurement plan for 2020 was approved. I said it was sent to the authority. We could not obtain approval. And I'm reading from you the 2020 compliance review reports, which indicated from the authority, that indicated that Brikama Area Council has submitted.
Who prepared the procurement plan? Sorry, the compliance review?
GPP.
Good. That's not from your office.
Yeah.
If you have provided a procurement plan and you have had approval, you must have a copy as CEO. Is
Yes.
that a correct statement?
Yeah, it's a correct statement.
Now,
Yes.
can you produce the copy?
Yes.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
You know, I have already told you, we have already dealt with GPPA with respect to the compliance, and we see that some of the things that they have said is not correct, and they admit that here. Because probably based on relationships they have had with the very people that they seek to make these findings on. But you watch the commission, you will find that that is the case. But we will expect you to bring it by tomorrow. Can you bring it by tomorrow, sir?
I'll endeavor. I'll ask if the commission can give me, let's say, more time to produce the plan. Maybe
More time.
maybe an extension a day.
You can ask the commissioners, yeah.
Yes, please.
Mr. Jonga, having listened to your evidence, the fact that you, by going through your laptop, you got the cue that the review report is saying that a plan was submitted.
Yes, ma'am.
If a plan is submitted, it means a plan was done at the level of the office.
Yes,
So we
ma'am.
expect you to bring it by tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. Now, we go in with respect to some of the things that you have, the findings that you have acted upon. You have mentioned on page 17 in relation to the, no, that's the page 8, I believe.
Yes.
You said the establishment register was updated. Do you have the updated version?
Not with me here.
Can you bring us the updated version, please?
Yes.
They have stated that the issue of the fixed asset register, that inaccurate asset register, non-serializations of the assets. So you have said that you have acted upon this recommendation.
Yes, sir.
We need the asset register that was updated. There was an issue regarding on page 17, personnel whose salaries were not signed amounted to $32,922.82 buttons.
Yes.
You have said you have sorted out this issue.
Yeah, because the finding believes that these personnel they have received their salaries, but they have not signed for. So the instruction.
No. The finding is monies were released, but the people that were supposed to receive the monies did not sign, the recipients. So it could have gone to anyone's pocket. That is what the finding is.
No, I am saying.
Yes.
When we met to discuss these particular findings.
Yes.
There were salaries of personnel that were received by the personnel.
Yes.
Example, you will have one person.
Yes.
Who will be sent to receive salaries for the court members for a particular district.
Yes.
Now, it will happen that this person will sign.
Yes.
For his allowance.
Yes.
And not sign for the rest, but he will collect these salary payments.
Yes.
So the discussion was that the paying out cashier must ensure that anyone who receives salary on his or her own or on behalf of other staffs. Yes. Must sign to show that these salaries are received.
Go ahead.
This is my understanding at the point when we were discussing this finding.
It says observation. During the review of the salary vouchers, we noted that there were no signatures against the personnel's salary. So we cannot ascertain if the salaries were taken or not. You see?
Yes.
That is the finding. The finding is that monies were really spent supposedly on salaries, but we could not tell, for example, whether Yoro Jallo was paid the amount he was supposed to be, whether he received the money, whether someone else received the money which was supposed to be for Yoro Jallo also. So that is the interpretation of what the auditor is trying to say. Well, he testified and he explained this as well. Now, how did you solve this problem?
Like I said.
Yes.
Some will receive, some will be delegated to receive, and then they will not sign from the paying out cashier. So we have asked the paying out cashier to ensure.
Yes.
That whoever receives his or her salary. Yes. Signs to indicate that the person has received.
Yes.
Those that are authorized must show proof that they have been authorized to receive salaries.
Yes. But you still haven't answered my question. How did you solve this problem?
That is by communicating to the paying out cashier.
How? Orally or verbally or through official communications?
I do not think it was official.
You work in an official capacity.
Yes.
Why won't you communicate officially?
We expect the line managers, the director of finance who was present during the discussions on the findings.
Yes.
To be able to take those decisions to ensure compliance with these particular findings.
Yes. Mr. Jonga, let me repeat again. Did you act in did you solve this problem?
Not adequately.
You see, Mr. Jonga, why do we have to do this? Why do we have to really go back and forth? At some point, you will have to now tell us what really was the situation.
No, I want you to understand the circumstances of this decision.
Okay?
Yes, it's important that you understand why issues happen.
Okay, so you were explaining why issues were happening.
Yes.
And I got that.
Yes.
And now you had told us you acted upon this,
Yes.
on this thing. So
Yes.
now the answer is no, you did not solve this problem.
Yes, and again,
Is
example.
that the answer?
Yes, it was not adequate. Example, I would.
Not adequate, sorry. Adequate means you went halfway to solve the problem, probably 1 or 2 steps. Have you solved this problem? Yes or no? No, because of XYZ, yes, because, and that's it.
No, it was not solved.
Perfect. So Jonga, we move on. Life is simple when you do this. But why was it not solved?
I'll just give you an example. If you
Yes.
look at the same page under the Land Administration Board allowance for May 2020,
Yes,
you have my name there, no signature.
yes.
But I received, but forgot to sign.
You forgot to sign.
Yes,
How is that possible?
it's possible.
How?
I received this
Yes?
and then did not sign, and the penal cashier did not bring the voucher to my attention.
What would be the circumstance that will warrant you not to sign these documents?
Example, I might be busy
You might be very busy.
and forgot to sign this.
But-
So
but-
it can be due to human error.
Are you talking about receiving money here?
Yes.
You receiving money, but you can't sign. If you are too busy to sign, you should be too busy to receive money, my friend.
No. Lead counsel, there are circumstances by which, example, the voucher will not be
Prepared,
brought to me for signature.
but the money will be given to you.
No. But let's say, example, I can know that I have this allowance there, and I can call the paying cashier and said, my allowance is there.
Yes.
Can I have it? So
That's not proper.
Yes, I know it's not proper. But
That's unlawful.
I'm telling you,
You would have been abusing your authority if you do that.
I'm telling you the circumstances, and I
That
think
circumstance, I'm telling you, you would have been abusing your authority if you do that. Do you
How?
understand that?
no, I don't understand that.
That you are CEO, you cannot just call the cashier and you tell the cashier my allowance is there and the cashier send the allowance to you. That would be wrong. Do you agree with that?
How about if it happens I am out of the jurisdiction at that point in time?
Procedure should be followed.
Okay,
You
I
will come
agree.
to that. Procedure should be followed. You
I-
are no exception by virtue of your role as CEO. Can all the employees do that?
No.
Why? Why you?
No, but if it happened that I'm out of the jurisdiction, and I'm just giving you circumstances. I'm just giving you circumstances,
I am
scenarios.
telling you those circumstances are not tenable, and you have already agreed with me that none of the employees, you will not allow any of the employees to do that, will you?
No, I do not have to allow or disallow employees to do
Will
that.
you allow any the cashier to be paying monies to any of the employees by just one phone call because they are not in town?
Absolutely not.
So why would you allow it as a CEO?
I'm just giving you examples. I am being honest.
Example.
I am just giving you examples so that you can understand.
Do you think that example
okay.
is tenable?
No, it's not.
So let's leave it. Let's drop it.
Yeah.
Let's drop it. We move on to examples that are real, that are realistic, that the law allows. That if you have a discretion, we accept you have a discretion. But examples based on illegality, no.
Okay.
Yeah, I would probably want to expect better from you. So now, the idea is vouchers are raised, payments are made. Is that not supposed to be the case?
Yes.
They are raised properly in accordance with how vouchers are supposed to be raised, then payments follow.
Yes.
So you cannot make error because if they are not duly authorized, payments cannot happen.
I did not say the vouchers were not duly authorized.
I'm
did-
saying
I
that
did
because
not
we have
say-
so many vouchers that were not duly authorized. So many.
Okay, we'll get to that.
Mr. Jonga, I don't think you want us to get to that so quickly.
Absolutely.
Okay, we will do that. But let's first go one after the other. But I'll probably show you an example of a voucher that was raised by one of your accounts clerk. Please get me. I will give you an example, and then we move on But in the meanwhile, whilst we are checking those vouchers, let me ask you other questions. So this amount, this $32,922 is 82 bututs. Where is it?
I cannot confirm the whereabout.
Why? Why is that? The law says you should be the person to confirm this whereabouts.
What we said is that the observation will be verified and appropriate action will be taken.
You have told us appropriate action was not taken.
Yes, but the officer responsible for this remedial action is the Director of Finance.
Who is being supervised by the CEO?
By the CEO, yes.
Was action taken? The answer was no.
No.
Is that not the case?
Yes, but
where
if
is
you
the
look
money?
at, Council, I just want to draw your attention to the recommendation part of these findings.
Okay, go ahead.
The P&R cashier should be very careful and responsive when dealing with the payments of the salaries and pension funds.
I agree.
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
You know why?
Yes.
They should be careful in not being influenced by any higher authority.
I don't think that happens in this case.
That is how we see it. Let me speak for myself. That's how I see it. And I've told them many times that they should be careful that the idea, you know how they call you people? Bosses, superiors, bosses. Time and again, they have told the commissioners that there are time and again that they could not defy you, they could not do anything contrary to what you guys want because they will be victimized. Whether that is true or not, that is the evidence that the commissioners received.
Those statements are at best very malicious.
That's the
I
evidence.
could tell you that, yes. That's the evidence. I heard about the evidence, but I could tell you those statements are at best malicious.
No, that's
very misleading.
Why?
We have never subjected anyone under pressure to do acts that are unlawful.
Let me give an example.
I think the point is they should be responsible enough.
Mr. Jonga, let us not go into that. We are asking, Council, go into specific questions. We are asking specific questions.
Mr. Jonga, do you have, just to divert a bit so that you understand why an employee or a junior officer may find himself under a funny situation because of your superiority? Do you have a policy when it comes to loans, granting of loan?
We do not have a loan policy. We relied on the financial manual and also the local government staff service rules.
Mr. Jonga, if you rely on the financial manual and local government service act or whatsoever, you would have had a policy.
I would have?
You would have had a policy on the ground.
Yes, I am confirming to you that there is no such policy.
Because you don't rely on the financial manual. If you had relied on the financial manual, you would have had a policy. That's my point. Now, how were you granting the loans when you were not, when you do not have a policy?
When we receive loan applications,
You who?
when the CEO receive loan application from staff,
When I receive applications.
when I receive loan applications from
Yes.
staffs,
Yes?
I minute these loan applications to the Director of Finance for
Yes.
advice,
Yes?
and based on the advice, I'll authorize for approval.
They say you have the sole responsibility to authorize whether and to decide whether someone is qualified to be granted loan or not.
That
Is
is
that
not,
true?
That is not correct. That is not fair.
Do you have a team that looks into these loan applications?
There is no team that looks into the loan applications, but it is unfair to say I have the absolute.
Did you as
discretion.
CEO form a team, institute a team that will look into the desirability of granting or rejecting loan applications from members or staff?
No, I did not.
Was that something that was supposed to be as a matter of a process that they have to follow so that it would not just be your just entire discretion?
It is not at my own entire discretion, but
Who
in,
else?
in hindsight, I would have set up with the revelations coming from the commission. I would have put up a body.
So it is better to set up a body,
Absolutely,
but that was not the case.
yes.
So it was a unilateral decision as opposed to a body decision.
Not unilateral decision.
You and who?
I seek advice from the Director of Finance.
But who has the decision?
The Director of Finance precisely have to confirm whether funds are available or not. If
Yeah,
funds are not there, I don't authorize.
That's the funds,
Yes.
the granting of the application that I want, whether Amadou will be granted the application for a loan or not. Who has that decision?
No, I do not take decisions along those lines, Council.
No. Who will make the ultimate decision to grant or reject?
The Director of Finance does.
The Director of Finance is the one who will decide whether someone is eligible for loan or not.
Yes, because I sought for advice,
So if you seek for advice,
yes, and I don't influence that advice that I asked for.
do you have a sample of an application that you sought advice from the Director of Finance and we see what was minuted? Do you have that?
Yes, I saw I saw the samples.
Now we want you to provide between 2019 and 2023, January, for all the staff, so your time that you have granted this loan
Yes,
and the process they followed.
yeah, this should be in the budget, but I can also explain what usually he will advise on the loan applications.
You don't have a file for it?
A loan file.
Yes.
I know, there's no specific loan file. What
Do
we
you
have,
have a loan file, Mr. Jonga?
there is a loan ledger, but this ledger do not include the applications. The applications are raised as vouchers, and they are kept by the accounts
So
department.
you don't have the applications.
The applications are attached to the vouchers.
That's my point.
Yeah.
My point is you don't have a file for these loan applications.
No.
Why is that?
I could confirm with accounts if they keep file copies, but to the best of my knowledge,
You did not keep any
have not.
file.
Yeah, I did not.
Good. So, if you do not keep a file, you don't have a structure, on what basis were you approving these loan applications?
Of course, we're using the metric system. And
We, as in Mr. Jonga, or we, as in a team, was formed? I want to be clear on this. Because as far as I'm concerned, the evidence suggests that it was Mr. Jonga.
okay,
Do you agree with that?
I want you to understand, anytime maybe I said we, because I'm a team player, so you could understand that this has to do with.
No,
with
if
the
you say
team.
we and there was no official team that was formed, we want to know who were involved in the process.
Okay, anytime I receive applications, loan applications from the staffs,
Yes.
I minute these applications. Of course, first they will pass through records
Go ahead, sir.
to my office,
Yes.
and then I'll minute it administratively to the Director of Finance for advice,
Yes.
and his advice will be please approve,
Yes.
and then I'll approve the amount that he indicated in the application,
Yes.
and then the rest of the process will follow.
I have one voucher I want to show you here. Yes. You have seen that?
Yes.
Was that voucher duly raised and notarized?
No, it was not.
Why is that? Why is that?
Sorry, you have two vouchers here. One that was raised through the metric system, and one that is raised through the FMS system.
Okay.
So
Please tell me.
the one that was raised through the metric system
It's not proper.
is duly authorized.
It's duly authorized.
Yes.
Let me see the one you're referring to.
Doing about this one or this one?
Let me see, yes, the one you're referring to. Just turn to the page. Mr. Jonga.
Yes, sir.
The one you said was duly authorized. See, what will happen here is a payment for funding of public awareness of waste management. Do you understand?
Can you please read out the date for that voucher?
The whole,
Can you please read out the date on that voucher? Please.
this date on the voucher is the 15th of July 2019.
I was not in office at this time.
You were?
I was not the CEO in July 2019.
When did you assume, in November?
1st November 2019.
Okay, let me give you another one then. I have one from Amadou Toure. You know Amadou Toure?
Well, we have two Amadou tourists in the office.
No, they paying out cashier.
Yes.
Okay. He raised one voucher. The voucher is dated June 25th, 2020.
Yes.
The description says payment of allowance of June 2020 as per attached. The amount is $45,000, I believe. Yes, $5,500. Seen it, sir?
Yes.
Yes. Can you advise us whether that voucher was duly raised and authorized?
It is raised, it is prepared by the accounts clerk, checked by the internal auditor, and then I have signed as the officer in charge of votes and signed by the Director of Finance. But there is no signature for the recipient column and also the signature of the P&R cashier.
Is the voucher duly raised and authorized?
Inadequate.
So the answer is no.
Yes.
Probably you can say no. So that voucher is not adequate. It's not correct. It's not proper. It's not properly raised.
I would say inadequate.
Why? What do you mean by inadequate?
Because the order essential, although all these processes are very essential, very fundamental,
Yes.
but the order essentials like raising the preparation of the vouchers and verification by internal audit and signing by the officer in charge and a signature by the Director of Finance are all in the voucher.
And the ones that were absent, are they also as essential?
They are indeed very, very essential.
Are they mandatory? Is it a mandatory requirement?
They are mandatory, but if you go further on the cash schedule, you could see it is signed by the recipients.
No, we will come to that. No, that's not correct. There are people that did not sign.
Yes, so you could see.
Don't say that. But we will come to that.
Okay.
That is the next other issue. Was that voucher properly raised?
It's not adequate.
It's not adequate.
Yes, sir.
What is missing?
The two signatures.
What are the two signatures that are missing?
Received by and also
The recipient.
the recipient. Yes.
Why is it important?
To confirm receipt.
To confirm receipt.
Yes.
In the absence of that, you cannot confirm whether the money is being received or not.
Yes, but again, you have the attachments that has a portion for the recipient to
We will
sign.
come to that.
Yes.
Let's talk about the voucher itself.
Yeah.
Now, you've agreed that there are important aspects of the voucher that were not really authorized. There was no signature. And they're fundamental. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree they are fundamental.
The
Yes.
first is the recipient did not sign. The second one is,
The P&R cashier did not sign.
are these two optional or are they mandatory?
They are mandatory, but the first one, which is the recipient, you could always refer back to the attachments.
Are
of
the
Sunday
two
voucher.
mandatory or are these two optional?
The first could be optional in a case you have attachments of cash schedules that will indicate the signatures of the recipients.
Okay, how about
But the signature by the P&R cashier is fundamental.
is fundamental?
Yes.
Is it present?
It's absent.
So in that case, is it fair to say the voucher is not authentic because it's not duly authorized? You use the word fundamental.
Yeah, I would use the word authentic.
It's not authentic.
No, I would not use the word it is not authentic.
What word will you use?
It is not adequate.
It's not adequate.
Yes.
Meaning it has lapses.
Yeah, there are lapses.
Meaning it was not duly authorized.
There are gaps.
There are gaps.
Yes.
Those gaps, are they serious gaps?
There are key gaps, yes.
Are they serious?
Yes.
Good. So don't play with words. I mean, that's
no,
not why we're here. That's not why we're here.
I'm not.
We are here to just to get the facts right. Now let's go to the recipient. Now, how many people were supposed to be paid?
So it's because you have, each district you have the code
Going
numbers.
by the list, the book does not lie. You have the list with you. You have the names that are supposed to be there. Who was supposed to be paid? And let's see whether they have been paid. You know, you have been referring me to it, and I've been not willing to go to the.
Yeah. On the first list, you have only 2 out of 5 that have signed.
No, let's first start with the first name.
With the first name. Okay.
The first name there.
Modou Bojang.
Did he sign?
He did not.
How would we know whether he received the money? He didn't sign as a recipient in the voucher and not in the list. How would we know?
Yeah, he won't be able to sign on the voucher, but he should be able to sign on the sale.
And he didn't sign both.
Yeah, yes, I agree.
So how would we know the money was received by him?
We cannot confirm that.
You see? Number 2,
Momo Bojang.
did he sign?
Yes.
Number 3,
Jules Deba.
did he sign?
No signature.
How would we know the money was received?
We cannot confirm that.
Go ahead. Number 4,
Amadou Ba.
did he sign?
Yes.
Go ahead. Number 5,
Maimuna Ba.
tell us whether.
No signature.
So how would we know whether she received the money?
There is no proof that we can
Now,
confirm.
is that voucher properly raised?
The voucher is properly raised,
Mr. Jonga,
but
are you serious?
No, but the payments indicating confirmation of receipt is not available
Which means?
because
Which means?
which means you cannot confirm if these payments are received
Or not?
or not.
That is very serious. Is that not very serious?
It is.
And you were the CEO.
Yes.
You had told the commission that you do not do things like this.
I did not say what?
You had told the commission that all vouchers that are raised were properly raised.
I did not say all vouchers. I said some of the vouchers are properly raised.
Mr. Jonga, see, that's the reason why I gave you example. You see, your role as a CEO, turn to page 36 of the financial manual. And whilst you do that, do you know for all these things that are wrong, they are your responsibilities? Do
Yes,
you know that?
I have overall responsibility, yes.
But do you know this is your responsibility?
I said I have overall responsibility.
You have?
I have overall responsibility.
You have overall responsibility.
Yes.
So where there are lapses, you take responsibility. Do you admit?
But the officer, primarily responsible, takes responsibility as well.
Of course.
Yes.
Everybody that is supposed to be, has a role to play, if they fail to do that, they should take responsibility. We told them. They testified before. You were the last to testify, Mr. Jonga. So if you had followed, you would have known that for the paying out cashier, for the one that raised the voucher, we will tell them that they had failed in their responsibility. But the ultimate responsibility, the person that is supposed to be the overseer, is you.
Yes.
If this happens, it's your ultimate responsibility as well. Do you agree with that?
Not my direct ultimate responsibility.
Let's go to page 36. Let's see whether it's your direct responsibility or not. Are you there? Page 36, you will see, on 35, you will see control of expenditure.
Yes.
Do you see that?
Yes.
Now, I will start with 35, to be fair with you, and we go and you see where your name is. It says the Director of Finance is directly responsible for the control of expenditure. He is personally responsible for the control of all votes and liable for any authorized expenditure. He or she should ensure that the expenditure of council shall be within the approved estimate. Do you see that?
Yes.
And the list goes on. C talks about vouchers. For all payment expenditures, appropriate payment voucher must be completed. Now,
Yeah, because I authorize payments.
and before you authorize, what should you do?
I need to cross-check.
What do you cross-check?
The vouchers that are raised,
to see whether they are adequately raised?
yes, the supporting
And-
documents.
And if they are not adequately raised, what should you do?
I have to raise a red flag for them to.
Have you done that in this case?
But in,
Have you done that in this case?
in this case, Council, the vouchers are raised. The issue is the payment here. It's
Mr.
the end product.
Mr. CEO, you had a voucher in front of you as CEO. You have seen that there were signatures that were not signed.
But I do not sign before they sign. If I had to sign before their signatures, I could say that I should not have signed until I see their signatures. But these signatures have to be there after my signature.
Now let's flip it. Let's flip it. Now, if they sign last and payment is being done, everything is being signed, even the paying out cashier had to sign last. That's what you're saying?
No, I'm not saying that. Don't get me wrong. What I'm saying is, if it happens that the cashier or the recipient signs before the CEO,
Yes.
then I can be held responsible for ensuring that these two must sign before I sign. But in this case,
No.
let me finish. Let me
Go
land.
ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
In this case, I have to sign
Yes.
for payment to happen.
Yes.
Now, once I sign, I do not have any opportunity for post auditing.
Yes.
That is clear.
Yes.
I do not have that.
Sorry, Mr. Jonga.
Yes, ma'am.
Please read the section he referred to you, subsection E. Maybe you'll be more clear.
Madam Chair, he will come to that.
Okay, thank
He
you.
will come to that very soon.
The payment vouchers must be properly authorized by the Chief Executive Officer or other responsible officer delegated by him to do so.
Yes.
The CEO must ensure that the payment voucher is correctly made out with all the supporting documents,
Yes.
properly classified, that the goods and services have been received, or the goods or the services provided, properly provided or rendered.
Yes.
What-
What do you understand by that?
I am saying,
What do you understand with what you have read?
yes, I have understand that. I
What do
must
you
ensure
understand?
that the supporting documents are adequate
Yes.
before I sign, and I must ensure that the goods and the services that have been received or they are properly rendered.
So now you understand.
Yeah, I understand.
Now, I'm not even referring to the recipient. Did the paying out cashier sign?
The paying out cashier here
Yes.
did not sign.
Should he sign before you or after you?
After me.
No. Why after you?
Well, that has been the norm.
No, that's what has been the norm.
Yeah. That has been the entrenched practices.
Now,
So if
Mr. Jonga, now let's fast track the issue of the voucher. Now, let's go by your own analysis and your own norm. It has been raised, you signed, you cleared, and then you expect payment to be done and all the others to sign subsequently, correct?
properly, yes.
Yeah, we're going by your own by your own analogy. Now, after that is done, what should follow? How do you now supervise or to do your oversight function to know whether, in fact, the money has gone to the rightful recipient?
Yeah, through post audit by the internal audit unit, that's one way that
Yes.
I'll be able to have the opportunity to know, this payment that are authorized have been properly
Yes.
rendered.
So read G.
Paid vouchers. After payments have been effected, all payment vouchers and their supporting documents shall be stamped paid.
Yes.
If the payment is made by check, the check number shall be written on the payment voucher before filing.
Yes.
Yes.
So these are all processes
Yes.
that will really clear out your doubt as to even if you did not sign last, but the end point is there are mechanisms to give you adequate information to know whether in fact what you have started or what you have authorized was in fact duly executed.
Yes.
Is that done?
It's not done.
Speak louder, please.
It's not done.
Yes. And that's where you have failed as well. Do you agree with that? The law says it, not me.
Yeah, it is not.
That's why you failed as well.
It is not done, yes.
Yes. And I am telling you that this is what has happened in so many instances. We had now. How do you make payments? Let's go with the issue of salary. How do you pay salaries, Mr. Jonga? We will proceed with this, but how do you pay salaries?
So the payroll clerk will raise the salary vouchers,
Yes,
and the salary vouchers will be taken to internal audit
yes,
for verification,
yes,
and then to finance,
yes.
and then to my office for signature.
What do you sign? The vouchers, and then how do you?
I sign the vouchers and the attachments, the payrolls.
Okay.
Yes.
And those who are paid through bank?
Those who are paid through bank, yes, and those who are paid.
How do you pay the individuals that are paid through bank?
Over the counter?
Oh, I mean, those who have bank accounts.
Yes. So these monies are deposited into the respective banks where
Yes.
staff are banking with.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, we see your accounts clerks. They have made several withdrawals.
Yes.
I know you must have followed.
Yes.
Millions of dollars.
Yes.
And they testified, they sat where you are sitting now, and they have admitted that all these withdrawals, there were no supporting documents.
I will disagree on that. There was no supporting document for salary payments because when we raise salaries, the payroll is attached on the salary vouchers that are taken to internal audit. Of course, the process could be inadequate, it might be wrong, but salary payments, the vouchers are raised.
What do you mean the process could be wrong or might be wrong?
Yeah, because in some instances, I might be out of the office, and then I will ask that they proceed and pay salaries, and then I will sign once I return to the office.
Okay.
So it could happen that I might not be able to sign the vouchers on that same day.
Means there are no vouchers.
No, they are.
If you don't sign the vouchers, there are no vouchers.
So we cannot pay salaries without raising vouchers. The details of the payroll for each of the staffs, banking with all the banks, is attached on the voucher. The payroll is printed out on monthly basis by the payroll clerk. Vouchers are raised for each of the payments, including the salary schedule that goes to the bank and the cash schedule as well.
You have Omar Sedikan, accounts clerk.
Yes, sir.
You know Omar Sedikan, accounts clerk?
Yes, sir.
Omar Sedikan had made several withdrawals. In his statement alone, there was an amount of $22,573,607.37 bututs. Checks were drawn in his name. Why would Omar Sedikan have checks in his name?
The huge cash withdrawals, I know, the large number of withdrawals of cash. The withdrawals of cash,
Yes.
In such a volume,
Yes.
is clearly wrong.
Yes.
It's a complete failure.
Yes.
But the checks that Omar withdrew are for salary payments and other operational costs.
How would we know?
Of course,
This is the problem with illegality. If it is wrong, clearly a violation, your words, clearly very, very wrong, how would we know that they are clearly for salary payments?
I'm sure vouchers are raised for these withdrawals to be able to confirm how these withdrawals are spent.
Now, the Jonga, it's not about a matter of you being sure. That's the reason why you were appointed as a CEO is to do what? Is to follow
Due process.
due process. That's the reason why you were employed as a CEO. Is that not the case?
Yes, and I did not take that responsibility lightly, like I'm saying, because there is never a moment we will pay salaries and not raising.
You had said clearly that the procedure was wrong. You had said it.
Yes.
I didn't even ask that. Your words, you said clearly it was wrong.
Yeah, it's wrong. It's wrong.
Good.
Yeah, it's
So
wrong.
if
I
it is
agree.
wrong, it's a departure from what the law is saying.
Correct.
That is why you're saying it's wrong entirely.
Yes.
But I am saying, why would you adopt a procedure that is totally wrong for so many years?
Yeah. Again, hindsight, these issues would not have happened, and again, these are issues that one will inherit, in council.
So you were just following tradition, custom. But what was done, but you knew it was wrong.
Not following customs to the latter. There have been some some deviations to follow the procedures.
There had been?
There have been some instances where we will follow procedures, but we are not 100% in following the procedures.
This is not a matter of 100%. For Ahmad Sedikan, for example, there are series and series of withdrawals that were made, and you cannot say that you cannot downplay it. It's not a minor issue. Because where you don't follow procedure, there is no accountability. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
And where there's no accountability, all these monies, we cannot know, no one can know whether they have really been spent in the manner in which they were supposed to. Do you agree with that?
The withdrawals.
If you first the statement, the question that I've asked, you answer it and then you move on. Where you do not follow procedure, you flouted the rules, you violated the rules, you will admit that then you cannot account for it.
No, I will not admit entirely that.
Can you account for all these withdrawals?
We cannot account for all these withdrawals because some of the procedures are not adequate.
That's my point.
Yes.
Now, do you agree that where you flout the rules, you violate the rules, where there are no procedures you follow, especially in these financial withdrawal transactions, you cannot account for it?
No, it's not all the transactions that we cannot account for.
I'm not saying all.
Yeah.
But at any time that you fail to follow procedure, at any moment that you disregard the provisions of the law as to what should be done, what you should do in withdrawing the monies of the public, the institution, it will be difficult to account for those monies.
Yeah, at times, yes, it will be difficult.
Do you agree with that?
Yes, it will be difficult at times to account for that.
So now, can you account for all these withdrawals?
Yes.
You can account for all these withdrawals?
Yes, because these withdrawals are salary payments and there are supporting documents on all these withdrawals.
No,
For either operations or salaries.
Wait a minute. You had said no before. Now you're saying yes. This is why if you say yes, then for all these withdrawals, we will ask you to provide all the necessary vouchers for every dollar that you have withdrawn through you and this finance director, that you have withdrawn through these accounts clerks.
Yes,
Can you do that?
Yeah, we're willing to have that opportunity to reconcile the withdrawals.
Good. Yes. Now, that's okay. But do you know if you cannot provide the proof for these withdrawals, you are accountable financially?
Yes.
Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Perfect. Now, Omar Sedikan, as an accounts clerk, let's go through to the details. Why would you sign a check in his name?
By the fact that he's an accounts clerk.
That's what the law says. Let's look at what the law says regarding that, what his rules are. Because we have these people, these employees that will come here and testify, but well, you know what they say, Mr. Jonga? They clearly tell the commissioners that you do not even avail them with the necessary working tool, these financial manuals. Some of them, they have never seen this financial manual or the necessary books of accounts.
What I have to say there is that each of these employees who are appointed are clearly told that you must familiarize yourself with these legal instruments.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and primarily, the Director of Administration is responsible for the inductions of recruited staffs.
So now you are saying they should be responsible in making sure that they follow these laws. They should know about it.
We raise the importance of them familiarizing themselves with these regulations.
So
and we have asked them to accept the offer of the appointments.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree with
but
you.
again, the other second point I'm saying
Right.
is that the Director of Administration
Yes.
have the responsibility
Yes.
to induct staffs on the instruments.
Now I am agreeing with you.
Yes.
Because you had said that clearly, by virtue of their role, they should know what to do and what not to do. It is clearly communicated to them that they should familiarize themselves with these relevant laws.
Yes.
So even where you have failed to provide them with these laws, they should be in a position to familiarize themselves with these laws.
No, there's no failure on my part to provide this instrument. I have
Okay,
provided the
let me
instrument.
rephrase. Even where you did not give them, for example, a financial manual, they should be in a position because it's clearly spelled out in their appointment letters.
Yeah, there should be that extra mile that they should take.
I agree. I'm
Yes.
agreeing with you now.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. But if that is the case, then it means you've expected them to follow what the law says.
Yes.
You've expected them to go strictly by what their mandate is in accordance with the position that they hold.
Yes, sir.
If that is the case, why are you as the CEO the very one who is violating this rule by making them do things that they are not supposed to do?
Everyone was at liberty. Everyone is at liberty. We do not force anyone to make withdrawals.
It's not about forcing Mr. CEO.
No, let me, they need to understand,
Right?
and familiarize themselves with the regulations.
Agree.
I perfectly understand.
100%.
And then I think you will agree with me.
Yes.
Yes.
I agree.
Yes.
I am saying now, as at the time they were employed, you knew that the role of the account clerk is X, Y, and Z. You expect them to familiarize themselves with the laws like Financial Manual, Finance and Audit Act, and the Local Government Act, correct?
Yes, sir.
Because you know that these laws have clearly spelled out what their role is. Is that not the case?
Yes, sir.
And why are you making them do things that are unlawful?
There is no pressure for.
Forget the pressure. You should not.
No,
forget. Here, go ahead.
No, maybe I will listen to you. But what I'm saying is, I'm saying there is no pressure on my part or on the part of the Director of Finance. If it happens, it's wrong. But there are also instances where the paying out cashier, checks are written on his name, and he makes withdrawals.
Jonga, you can't have it in both ways. You can't eat your cake and have it. I started blaming you for not providing them with the law. Your counter argument was they should have had the law. Is that not the case?
I did not say, I did not refuse to provide them with the regulation. I said I did provided that through the head of the Department of Administration.
Oh, wait a minute. You said you provided them with all these regulations?
Yes.
So they have all these regulations. So when they say that they did not know about the financial manual, that would not be true.
No, it's not true, because you don't expect someone, a finance manager, to say, I do not know that the finance manual exists.
No, I agree. That's not what we are, what we have this agreement on. My point is, did your administration provide these working tools to the accounts clerk?
Yes, I have provided the working tools to the Director of Administration for onward transmission to every staff that's
Do you have the memo?
I have.
Do you have the correspondence?
I have the emails, yes,
that
I have sent to the Director of Administration.
To?
The copies of the instruments, and there are instances when he will ask for the copies, and I'll give these copies to him in his flash drive.
The Director of Administration?
Yes, because
for
the service rules is clearly indicating that it is the responsibility of the Director of Administration.
I agree. Now, did you have that in a memo? You said no, through email.
Yes.
Can you make available the email correspondence that you've sent to the Director of Administration, wherein you have provided all this documentation?
Yes, sir.
Good. If you have done all that, why do you make them do illegal acts?
In hindsight, at that point, we did not know these are illegal acts.
No, you have already provided the law to them, Mr. Jonga. You see, that's why I said you can't eat your cake and have it. You can have it in both ways. You have argued well in that you have not negated your responsibility. You have actually performed your duties in providing these regulations. You had said that. I thought otherwise, but you said you have said that. The witnesses they said you did not do that. But now I want to believe that you would do that. And you had said you done that.
Yeah,
correct?
Yes, I've done that.
Which means you knew they exist. And you knew what their role is. But why would you now make them do things that were unlawful?
Yeah, it is not proper. It is not correct to do that.
That is the issue we are talking about here. So for all the period you have been a CEO for Brikama Area Council, you have made your accounts clerks and the paying out cashiers to be performing acts that were unlawful.
No, the paying out clerks, that's his role.
Now let's go
if you say the accounts clerk, I can understand, but the paying out cashier, that's his responsibility.
What is his responsibility? To withdraw checks?
And making payments.
And make payments.
Yes.
That is responsibility.
Yes.
Now let's start with the senior accounts clerk 206, page 13. Are you there?
Yes.
So you see, it says that the senior accounts clerk is responsible for carrying out with minimal supervision, accounting and associated duties as below. A, confirmation of vouchers prepared and checked and passed by the accounts clerk, verification of the postings made in the subsidiary books, records and documented by the accounts clerk, updating the establishment register, preparation of salary vouchers of established staff, preparation of purchase orders, posting of entries in the expenditure control system. Do you have that? Do you have an expenditure control system?
With the IFMI system, yeah, we do, yes. I do not know whether we have it with the
Sorry,
metrics.
it's a statement. Council is statement.
Yes.
Not
Yes.
the system, but a statement.
Oh, yes,
Expenditure
the
control
statement.
statement, yes.
You don't have it.
With the IFMI system, we do, but I just cannot confirm with the metric system.
Mr. Jonga, it's not a system they are talking about here. It's a statement.
Do you have
Expenditure control statement.
Yes. Do you have one?
No, we don't.
You do not have any expenditure control
No,
statement.
I cannot recall.
Why is that?
I honestly have no idea.
Your?
I honestly do not have no idea about
No,
whether we have
Mr. Jonga, my only difficulty is it will not be expected that anyone would want to allow you to say you do not have an understanding or knowledge about it because you occupied one of the most important offices in the area council, and you have been very qualified to familiarize yourself with
I'm being honest with you. We have expenditure statements.
Thank you very much for
Yes.
being honest.
Yes.
But I also have to tell you, you were supposed to be in a position to know this.
Yes, I agree.
Checking scrutiny of bills, checks, etc. before final payment, checking and processing all payment vouchers, preparation of checks for signatures, preparation and payment of monthly payment of salaries, wages, process payment to council, postings of cash daily, and this goes on. The same with the duties of the accounts clerk. So nowhere did it say that the payment should be done in their name. In fact, the law says when payment should be done, it should be done in the name of the payee, the person to be paid, the recipient.
Yep. But there are instances where you need to make sundry payments. So
Sundry payment.
I know withdrawals of checks by the accounts clerk is not compatible with their rules and responsibilities.
It's totally unlawful.
Yes.
It's 100% incorrect.
Yes, I agree. So, but there are payments that you cannot just pay in the name of the payee. There are
Why?
payments. There are
Why?
payments.
Give us an example.
There are sundry payments that you can make. Example, if there is a general council. Sorry, if there's a general council meeting.
Yes.
Or a subcommittee meeting.
Yes.
You have to draw the checks in the name of the paying out cashier, and then he pays each of the payees.
No, the law didn't say that. The law didn't say that. Do you disagree with me? We can visit what the law says.
No. I'm telling you the practice.
What obtained
Yes.
on the ground.
Yes.
And I am telling you what should have obtained on the ground.
Yes. I
You see
agree.
why we have this disagreement all the time?
No, I think not on disagreement, but it's a healthy conversation.
Absolutely.
You know, because I'm also learning along the way, and I hope it's the same with everyone.
Yes.
So, yes. So because sometimes you look at maybe the process involved in the transaction of having to pay a number of, let's say, 38 individuals.
The reason why
with check
yes.
for each person 1,500. So you will make a decision to say, why not we draw a check in the name of the paying out cashier, and then he collects this money and pay each of the payees.
So
instead of having to draw a check
but that's
of
wrong.
38.
But that's wrong.
I understand that, but I'm telling you the
not
circumstances.
understand. Do you agree?
I agree.
Yes. That is totally wrong. Because we need to trace the funds. The public funds must be accounted. It has to be traced. So if you sign a check in the name of the paying out cashier or any individual, it means in effect you are paying that individual. You are paying Omar Sedikan $22 million plus. Of course, this is in bits and pieces or in different checks, but that's what it indicates.
Yeah.
And so Omar Sedikan comes here and says, I did not receive any supporting document. I was only given a check signed by the CEO and the finance director. Just that. That is what I don't want to understand, the legality of signing a check without supporting documents to these individuals.
Salary payments are all with supporting documents.
Please increase your voice.
Salary payments are all with supporting documents.
Page 29. Well, you have already said you'll find these vouchers, so we don't go into it. Page 39 talks about classification of payments. Do you see that?
Few seconds.
It tells you all the different type of payments that the law can envisage, they can factor in relation to your authority as CEO, together with the finance director in authorizing payment, the different type of payments.
Yes.
Do you see that?
Yeah, I've seen
It
that.
says the finance staff must exercise great care to ensure that payments are correctly classified into expenditure accounts using appropriate codes. When in doubt, correct clarification should be sought from the Director of Finance. It went on, 503, the following procedures are to be followed. For the payment, for the various payments and expenditure listed in Annex 2. What does that mean, that statement? That for all payments, they must follow these guidelines,
Yes.
this regulation.
Yes.
Do you agree with that?
Yes, and I can confirm the salary payments follow these guidelines.
Wait a minute, Mr. Jonga. You have signed checks in the name of accounts clerk. From the word go, you have violated the law. Don't confirm that. If you raise a voucher and then you have a check signed in the name of one accounts clerk, you have violated the regulation. Is that not the case?
I agree, but I agree that the checks should not be in the names of the accounts clerks. But what I'm telling you here,
Do you know why that's important?
No, it's important
Do you know why that's important?
for accountability. Yes.
Exactly. So it's not only an issue of the check should not be in their name, it's an issue of making sure there is no fraudulent practices in council
I understand that.
or in public institutions. And so because of disregarding the law or the provision cannot guarantee guarantee anyone that in fact the monies were spent on issues that they were supposed to be spent, it has defeated the purpose. So for you, Mr. Jonga, if you have decided out of the $1 million that was withdrawn, that you need $200,000, no one knows. Because the cash is given to you back, or the finance director.
That has not happened.
I don't know about that, Mr. Jonga.
And I'm telling you because you're raising that, so it did not happen.
But that's verbal.
Yeah,
If you had followed procedure, then we would have the evidence.
Yeah,
If
but-
you disregard procedure, we don't know about that.
Yes, it's true procedures is disregarded, but also you have not confronted me with any evidence to ascertain what you're putting across.
Mr. Jonga, we will come to the specifics. In fact, the issue regarding these withdrawals, we will come to it one after the other.
Very well.
It's for your responsibility to tell us where the money is.
Yes.
Not my responsibility.
Yeah.
I'm not here to accuse you of the fact that you have spent $200,000 and put it in your own pocket. It's for you to tell me and to tell the commission that the monies that you have withdrawn followed due process, and therefore it was spent on X, Y, and Z.
And I have said that earlier on, that we will appreciate that opportunity to give you a confirmation of that.
Opportunity. Mr. Jonga, you have the absolute opportunity.
Thank you.
Absolute opportunity.
Thank you.
You have the 503, the preparation and payment of personal emoluments. Have you seen that?
Yes, sir.
You've seen what should be done,
Yes, sir.
the process that should be followed.
Yes.
That the finance staff must keep proper records of salaries, wages, and allowance payable and paid to all employees of council, and so on and so forth, right?
Yes, sir.
Payment of salaries and wages. What did it say? Salaries and wages of the employees of council should be prepared monthly by the 28th of each month.
Yes.
Using the council's payroll, the payroll should contain the following: the name of the officer, position and grade, staff employment, monthly basic salary, allowance, gross emoluments, and tax deductions. The list goes on, right?
Yes, sir.
Now it tells you, if you go to H, the salary payment voucher shall be prepared for the net salaries payable to the employee with the monthly payroll as a backup document, and the bank schedule shall be prepared for employees who receive their salaries through their bank. Do you do that? Do you do this? Do you put these payments into schedules?
Yes.
Good. Now the cash schedule shall be prepared for employees who receive their salaries in cash. Do you have this schedule?
Yes.
Why the accounts class, they say they don't have this schedule?
One of the vouchers you gave me is part of the cost settle.
That's not a salary voucher. I'm referring to a salary voucher.
This is for allowances.
Yes, that's what
Yes.
I'm referring to a salary voucher here. Salary payment vouchers.
There are.
Yes.
Yes.
So, Mr. Jonga, don't be in a rush. We will.
No, I'm
for-
not. I'm not.
For all the withdrawals, I repeat, you will be asked to produce all the vouchers.
Yes, sir.
Don't worry about that.
Yes, sir.
And once you produce them, that will be okay. So, this is the process, Mr. Jonga, that should be followed. For instance, we have Omar Sedikan. For instance, you will see when you go to the 2021, let's say, 3rd September 2021, there was an amount of $300 that was withdrawn on the 3rd. What would that have been? Salary?
What date is that?
3rd September 2021. Would that be for salary?
How much is that?
Come again, sir?
What's the amount?
$300,000. Would that be for salary?
It could be for salaries, but I will need to confirm this.
Okay, Mr. Silikan, we will give you a list that you'll have to confirm. Now, for 2021, let's say Trust Bank, there was a withdrawal on the 8th of October 2021,
Sorry,
$100,000 for Omar Silikan.
Sorry, on the 3rd of September 2021, which bank is this?
EcoBank.
Okay.
You have the 8th October 2021, $100,000. Is that for salary? Would that be for salary?
Which bank is this?
Trust Bank.
Again, you will have to allow me to confirm this, please.
Then what we will do, we will give you the entire withdrawals for the finance department that you have authorized. And then you will now have to tell us whether all those withdrawals are for salaries or for whatever purpose, and you will be expected to provide the vouchers in relation to all these withdrawals. Can
Okay.
you do that?
Okay, sir.
All right,
I'll endeavor to do that.
please. Are there any questions before we proceed? I see you have.
Yes, I just have one. Mr. Jonga, going back to the issue of loans.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you have told us that there is no loan policy, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, is there any application form that the applicant would fill, or is just that the applicant will just apply in his or her own writing the loan he wants from the council?
There's a requisition form.
A requisition form.
Yes.
Now,
But there's no such form specifically for loan applications. So that's what the staff use to apply for the loan.
so what does the requisition form contain?
It contains the person who is the address, let's say if you are applying for a loan to the CEO, the portion, as a portion to the CEO, from the person who is applying, and then the subject matter of what you are applying for, and then a column for signature, and it's also on the letterhead of the council.
Okay. So now, how do you communicate? How do you communicate the terms and conditions if you don't have a proper form that the applicant is to fill?
There's no such communication. When I receive applications, I forward these applications to the Director of Finance for advice. I'll indicate that please advise or kindly advise.
Are you aware what is contained in section 801 on the issues of loan and the terms and conditions of the different types of loans?
Yes, I'm aware.
So would it be correct to say that the applicants that had applied over the years did not fulfill the requirements of the law to be entitled to be given loans? Would that be a fair statement?
There are instances where...
No. Answer the question first. Would that
Yeah.
be a fair statement?
Yeah, in some instances, yes.
And are you aware that the law is saying that it is a matter of must that you must have this loan application in particularly prescribed forms? Are you aware of that?
Yes, I'm aware.
So why didn't you do that?
We failed to do that.
Now, on the issue of the salaries, you were doing back and forth with the with council.
Yes.
These cash schedules and the bank schedule, is this not the instruments that are supposed to allow you to do the cross-checking whether everything is done as per provided for in the financial manual?
Yes. They are,
So it will be correct to state that your staff don't provide this for you to cross-check whether these are correct.
No, they are provided before we proceed with payments.
They provided?
Yes.
Okay, so now we are asking you to provide us from 2019. You said you started 2019 November.
Yes.
Now, you provide us with the bank schedules and the cash schedules, particularly because you are more particular on the issue of salaries. We want that to January 31st, 2023.
Okay, ma'am.
Please endeavor to bring this because it should be available in the office tomorrow when you come. We may rise.